This next lesson is about multiplying by tens, hundreds, and thousands. Now this is a pretty easy lesson, so it's not going to take us too long to get through this one. Go ahead and take some notes along the way. Now the first problem that we have is 7 times 300. The first thing that we want to do is dissect the number 300. How many hundreds are there in 300? There are 3. So when we multiply 7 times 3, what do we get? We get 21 hundreds. Now we want to write 21 hundreds in standard form. Now this goes back to chapter 1 when we were writing numbers based on their place value. Because we're talking about hundreds, we want this 1 to be in the hundreds place. So we're going to write our 21, and our 1 is going to be in the hundreds place, which means there are 2 places after that 1, and those 2 places get zeros. So 21 hundreds is equal to 2,100. When we multiply 7 times 300, we get 2,100. Now, one thing I want you to notice about this is our zeros. So we have 2 zeros here in 300, and we basically took them away. We took them out of the equation when we multiplied 7 times 3. Then we got our product of 21, and we added those 2 zeros back in. That's a nice trick that we can use when we're multiplying times tens, hundreds, and thousands. So all we had to do when we were multiplying this number, 7 times 300, would be to remove our 2 zeros and add them into our product of 21 with 2 zeros, or 2,100. That would be our final product. Let's take a look at another problem like this. Here we have 9 times 7,000. So we want to break down 7,000. How many thousands is that? Well, it's 7. Now we're going to multiply 9 times 7, and we get 63 thousands. We talked about in chapter 1 how when we have something like 63 thousands, we can cross off this S, and then we just read it 63,000, which is how we would write it. 63,000. But just like our last problem, we have 3 zeros here that represent thousands. We can take those 3 zeros out and then add them back in when we write our product. So when we had 9 times 7,000, we can remove our 3 zeros, add them into our product, and then write our product of 9 times 7, which is equal to 63. And that is our final answer. As long as we know our basic multiplication facts, multiplying times tens, hundreds, and thousands is super, super simple. Let's take a look at a few more problems. Here we have 6 times 30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross out this 0. I'm going to add it over here in my product, and now all I need to do is my basic fact of 6 times 3, and I get 18. 180 is my final product. My next number, 9 times 800, I'm going to cross out those 2 zeros, put them down here in my product, and now all I have is my basic fact of 9 times 8, which is equal to 72. So my final answer is 7,200. For my final one, I'm going to multiply 7 times 2,000. So I'm going to cross out these 3 zeros, put those 3 zeros there in my product. 7 times 2, that basic fact is equal to 14. And that's it. That's all there is to this. Go ahead and answer the 4 problems that you have, and you're done. That's all there is to this lesson. That zero trick really helps when we're working out these problems. It helps us identify our basic fact. Remember to cross out those zeros and add them into your final product. Don't forget about those zeros. That's what you need to do first. If you cross something out, put it on the other side of your equation. All right, that's it for today.